Hello, this video is on section 8.2, which is titled the reciprocal function family. And there are two learning targets for this one. The first one is to graph reciprocal functions, and the second one is to graph transformations of reciprocal functions. So a reciprocal function is anything that has your x in the denominator. For example, if you have f of x equals 1 over x, where your x is in the denominator, the only restriction is that x cannot be equal to 0, because if it's equal to 0, you can't divide any number by 0. That's the most basic one that there could be. There could be some different numbers on top. There could be plus or minus on the bottom. And that's where you come into the general form of a reciprocal function. And each of the letters in this reciprocal function represent some different types of transformations you can make to the graph. And you're familiar with all of these: stretch, compress, reflect, vertical and horizontal translate. But just to go over them again, if a is greater than 1, it's going to be a stretch, so it brings and stretches it vertically. And then if a is between 0 and 1, then it's going to compress it and bring it together vertically, or kind of squish it together. Then if there's a negative out in front, it's going to vertically reflect. And then if there was a negative down on the inside of the x, then it would be a horizontal reflection. And then the two translations, vertical and horizontal. Vertical is on the outside, horizontal is on the inside. And remember, horizontal is always the opposite sign of what you see. So if you see a positive number here, it's going to be a horizontal shift to the left. And if you see a negative, it's going to be a horizontal shift to the right. And again, the general reciprocal function is if this is your x or y axis, it's going to look something a little like this, where you have asymptotes, or lines where the graphs don't connect right here. So those two lines are called asymptotes. I'm not sure if there's two s's or not. But yeah, it's whenever the graph is not continuous left or right or up and down, there's some sort of jump or break where there's no values. And the asymptotes will shift depending on your vertical and horizontal translations. And we will go over a few of those examples in class, but just in the broad thing to get is the general form and each of the different types of translations that you will see. Okay, thank you.